What's up, guys? Baby here with the NSX again. So NSX is, in the left. Well, what happened? Massive leak. My neighbor mentioned that looks like something was leaking. Well, he was right. Basically what happened is that when I put the solenoids, the vtec solenoid gaskets last year, there was a huge amount of oil in this area here, all this area here. So what happened is, the vtec solenoid is one over here up in the engine, and there is another one over here up in the engine that way. So when you're driving and oil comes down, basically the wind takes the oil and spreads it all the way here. So all this is full of oil. You can tell, you see the oil everywhere here. And this is after a little bit of cleaning. You look at how much oil there is. So I washed this, everything, the undercarriage. Yes, I know that's damage. I need to get another used one. If anyone have one, let me know. Anywho, so well, huge leak. It decided to literally burst big time now, exactly 4 days before I go in a trip into the interior for 800 kilometers. So I'm pretty happy about the timing, obviously. I wanted to get the oil pan gasket too out because it was leaking too, was sipping a little bit of oil. And I had to take the exhaust pipe, flexible part area thingy out too. And obviously, knowing me, I had to break one of them, obviously. I used my torch though. Where's my torch? It's right here. My torch to remove all of them. But that one, I think it cooled down a little bit, and I was using that huge pry bar and I broke it. But knowing myself, I actually bought a set of I bought the oxygen sensors that I'm trying to change, but they have been difficult, and I bought a set of this, 2 sets. So I am safe. I can change it. I think that they are the same. So I am going to replace that one there. I have a welder over there, so I'm going to bring the welder over, weld the nut, which I have ready, and take it out. That's what I'm going to do. Not a big deal. The oxygen sensor has been a humongous pain in the butt. I actually bought a 7H. No, that's 21. Anyways, I bought this. There it is. That really long 7/8 inch wrench. I bought the seals, the vtec solenoid seals, and I bought that wrench to take the oxygen sensors out. That one is not moving, and this one, the downstream, I guess is called. Where is it? It's right there. That. Yeah, it's not moving. I do have the socket, the special socket, this socket for oxygen sensors. This piece of shit that doesn't work. I do have it, but these things are welded in. So I am going to do the oil pan first. I'm going to spec the cylinders, the cylinder walls from here, because I took the shield that was here, and you can see the cylinders there. So I want to spec them a little bit since I'm down here, just to make sure everything is, is fine and nothing looks really bad. Everything looks really clean and nothing like material came out of anything. Although someone really wanted to make sure that there was no leaks in the oil pan, you can see the RTV here, or the Onda bond, which is, who cares, it's RTV. And it's like, the amount of it is huge. To the point that there was, in the oil pickup tube, there was RTV in it, which I didn't put in there. You can still see there, can you see it? There, you see, that's RTV. Well, there were bigger pieces than that there. And I'm like, how much RTV do you have to put? Look at this. Look at this. This is a monkey, not a person. Look at this, how much RTV there is. What is this? These are the little plugs thingies, full of RTV. What's going on? The RTV was like, is all the way to here. I already cleaned it up. All the way to here and all the way to here. I was like, what the heck? You don't need that much RTV. It comes with a gasket. Sure, you put a little bit, but not this much. Someone just, I think that they read in the book, maybe it says liberal amount of RTV, and they went liberal to the extreme. I mean, it's crazy how much RTV there is here. Just look at all that, and I throw a lot of to the trash already. It's like, look at this. Anyhow, I just cannot believe it. So I'm using this, just so you know, if you are not that patient as me, you can actually use one of these brushes. This is brass brush, or I guess, and or I think it's steel. Maybe it's a steel brush. Is it? Anywho, they work really well. They're soft enough that they don't take the paint off. You see, I already cleaned all that up very fast. If you try to do this by hand, it takes you forever. I mean, how do you clean that hole? That's a low spot. So that they made that so that, you know, RTV will go there. So you, with this, you just do this. You see, it's clean, done. So if you try to do it with a blade, it takes forever. I always do it with a blade at the beginning, but after that I use a tool like that, and you know, it's way too much time. So I'm cleaning all this up. We'll clean the engine now, degrease a little bit more, and hopefully the leak will be done, and I will replace some of the studs, especially the one in the header, I guess. And I will do my best to replace the oxygen sensors. I think for this oxygen sensor, I had to remove half of the card out to have a space to like go in. So I think I'm going to try to do it with the wrench, but I'm going to disconnect first the sensor and pass the wrench through here, like the connector, because this is a 7/8 wrench, so it's the same size. So pass the connector through here, this hole, and try to do it in an angle like that and see if I can release it. If it doesn't work, I'm going to heat them up until they are red hot, and then I'm going to remove them. Maybe I should do that from the get-go and use the socket, because this socket fits here, but it doesn't fit there because it's too tight. Anyhow, I really want to change this because I got a code for engine code at some point, and my friend said, my friend I bought the car from, said that I think it was an oxygen sensor issue, but it never showed up again. But you know, this car, you cannot rev it up more than 7,000 RPM, and then there is like a fuel cutoff thing happening. I still don't know what it is. Otherwise it drives fine. So anyhow, I'm going to figure it out. That's why I want to change them. So I'm going to change them. I got the vtec seals too. They're already in the mailbox. I had to pick them up. And what happened with the vtec solenoid is that I'm going to illustrate a little bit here. So what happens is that the vtec solenoids, they have a shape like this. I will do one side. So they're like that, and they have a round side like that, and then a straight, I think, and there is like another piece of rubber there, and they go like that, and they go like this, and they go like that, something like that. And here there is a filter. In this area there is a filter, and I think I'm there is another triangle here. I can't remember. It's something like that. So anyway, so this area here, from here, well, all this basically goes into a groove. So if you look at the body of the vtec solenoid, the body of the vtec solenoid is like that, and then there is a bunch of connectors here and so on, and it goes like that. But if you look at a cutoff where the seal goes, there is a groove like this all around the vtec solenoid. Yeah? And this seal basically sits inside of that groove and is that shape. So this is the bottom part, that's the top part, and what happened, this is my theory because I actually found a clue, was that this came off the groove when I was putting it in. So I went like this with the vtec solenoid like that, and then I put it in like this because of the space there, and I should have gone this way and then move it forward like that. So because what happened is that the bottom side came off the groove, and what I think happened, it came off the groove, and when I tied the body against the block, I pinched the rubber, and so basically I cut off this part of the seals. Like if we amplify this area here, the seal is like this thick in this area, and I basically pinch it right here with the body of the solenoid, and all this basically got cut off from the seal. And so when I was trying to find the leak, I put my fingers under in this area here, and this piece of rubber came off the bottom. And I cleaned all this area when I did the repair really well. So I think that's what happened, because they're both leaking on the bottom side, and I found the rubber slit in both sides. So stupid mistake, and that explains why these vtec solenoids, maybe it was the original seals, they have RTV on them, and they have a little RTV, and I'm guessing that is to hold the rubber in the slot, in the groove, so it doesn't come off when you put it in. That's my guess, but they did have RTV on them, so I'm going to put RTV on the solenoids, on the new seals, so I don't have the problem. So I'm going to do all the bottom work first, do the oxygen sensor, load the car, do the remove the vtec solenoids, clean them up, or they're all clean, but clean them up, and anyways, yeah, so that's what I'm going to do, and hopefully I'm pretty sure that will fix the issue, and I will not have any more oil leaks, and my drive will be fine, and I can monitor the car. I mean, I think I drove the car like this, for 800k, and I just put more oil because it dropped a little bit, and I didn't know where it was coming from, but now I know. So very, very random. Only showed up where after the fact. So after hitting VTEC and stopping the car, you let it sit, and then it leaks. So yeah, I guess it took me a while to find it. So yeah, so that's the status. So don't do what I did. Do it right. Put some RTV. Don't put a lot, because if you put RTV in this area, you're going to screw it up. That's where the filter is, and you're going to clog the filter. Don't be stupid. Put a little bit RTV, little bit, almost dry, so it just holds the rubber in place. Nothing more. You don't have to go crazy liberal with RTV like the old pine. Don't do that. Anywho, so I'm going to keep working at it and install the new gaskets and all that kind of stuff, and hopefully leaks will be gone. I will keep you guys updated. Continuing the saga of the oil pan gasket and all that. It's funny, I was looking at I look at the book like 4 times. This is a Felpro gasket, and you see how it's, it came off after the 14 kilo Nm torque spec. I don't know, 10 foot-pounds. Yeah, foot-pounds, not inch-pounds. 120 or so inch-pounds. you know, and I was like tightening them up, and I was like, well, the gasket is coming off, but the gasket has these little holes, you know, and those kind of rivet thingies or whatever where it fits, so it's not going to move from there. So I'm guessing this is normal. I put silicone, copper silicone on both sides, a very little amount, very little, and you see squeezed out a little bit here, but very little now compared with the whoever did the older job. But anyways, so I guess this is how it looks like. I mean, I don't think it's going to leak, but maybe when it gets old it will leak. I don't like the looks of it. I mean, some areas are better than others, but still it comes off. It's kind of like, you know, overflows, and I don't know. But that's what the book says, 14. So I did it. I checked 3 times. I thought it was 10, but no, it wasn't 10. It was 14. And check again. I was like, are you sure 14? And I follow the torque sequence. You know, I think this is 1, and then 2, 3, and it's kind of like a star pattern or whatever. So yeah. So it's all in. I clean up for hours. I finish at midnight. Anyway, so this is done. And then, well, the saga was getting this stud out, so I drill it out. Then I used those extractors, which didn't actually work because this thing was welded in against the header and or the flange. But using that with anyways, I lost the tool. I don't know where it is. With my pneumatic tool that is somewhere in some place. Over there. So what I did is that I used this guy like this. I used one of those, you know, Allen sockets, and I use a tap, which you can see. Come on, camera, don't play with me. Where's the bloody camera? Come on, you. Oh, has a hard time on focusing on this. Come on, can you focus there? No. Well, anyways, the tap broke. Maybe there you can see it a little bit. Is the light the problem? Okay, maybe it's the light. I don't know. Anyways, there. Oh, almost. But anyways, you can see this thing is supposed to be long there. Well, it's broken. You see it there. It's broken, fully broken. Well, it broke inside, and so you see this is a 10/3/8 socket or 10mm socket, and it almost fits there. It's kind of like, it doesn't really fit, but anyways, because it's very awkward to access here. Even without the oil pan was awkward to access here. So anyways, it broke inside after I was almost done. Like I went through already, almost, you know, because even though I use those extractors, there was still like a sleeve of the old stud there. Pretty annoying. Anyways, so I was like, okay, well, I'm screwed. I'm driving with just 2. The other thing that I noticed is that this thing doesn't have, you know, like a gasket in here. So I was surprised about that. There is some sort of thing here which was there. I guess this was a gasket. But you know, it's old. It's like rust, so I don't know what the heck is that. I'm going to look at the book, but I don't have it, so I'm not going to replace it. If there is, I'm screwed. Anywho, next is remove the oxygen sensor, which is welded into. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to remove it. I don't know. I might actually not remove it because I'm out of time. I'm driving tomorrow, and you know, I don't know. I might not remove it because maybe I can remove this one, but the one in the back is really hard, so I don't know. So what I did is I used a torch. So I have this oxyacetylene kit I bought. Not kit, I bought a used, and I lucky out because this is Smith old torch set. It has the cutting, the welding torch and everything. with the cart and everything. I bought it for $250, and the guy told me that just this gun was $700. So I was really happy. He said this is going to last you the rest of your life. They're amazing. They don't make it like this, and so I was super lucky. So I started learning how to use it. I'm reluctant to use it because it's so bloody powerful. You can make a huge mistake. So the cool thing about this area is that there is no cables in here. So like behind here, there's no cables, just the oxygen sensor, and nothing else. I'm like, okay, well, the tap is inside, and I have nothing to lose. If I try to heat it up, you can tell I lower it a little bit there, and I melted that. So I hit it up, and two touches of the trigger, and the hole is clean. So now I need to buy another tap, which is not a problem because I need to buy this plug. This plug is not good, so I'm going to buy it. So at least I have the bloody hole cleaned, and I can tap it and put the stud. So next is the vtec solenoids, which I want to show you here. Let me bring the light for a second. Where's my light? Here. So I want to show you this because when I was testing the solenoids, I told you that I burned my arm pretty badly. So but I couldn't see the leak, and look at, you can see the oil here. It's so well, the camera doesn't actually show too much, but you see all that oil there. It's actually wetter than what it looks, but anyhow, this is after I clean up a few times and I put degreaser on it because I'm going to pressure wash all this. But look at all this dirt full of oil everywhere. It's just everywhere. Anyways, so now if you look up there, you see that oil there? Well, that is the bottom of the old pressure switch. What is it on top is the vtec solenoids. And yeah, so it's not the old pressure switch is leaking, as far as I can tell, because you see the oil goes all the way to the let me see if you can see there. It goes all the way to the bolt. So it comes down from the top, so it follows this thing and basically lands here, and then it lands around this area down here, and then the car is driving, and then the oil comes here and sprays it all the way down there. So yeah, so you see the oil. So that's how much oil on just revving for 5 minutes came out. So obviously that's why all this is full of oil. So I'm going to replace now the seals. And then I'm going to go and buy the tap and put the stud finally back in. And yeah, so hopefully that will be the end of the leaks. I checked the valve cover gasket, and the valve cover gasket is fine. It doesn't seem to be leaking there anywhere. It's all dry up there. It's always from the vtec down. So that's what I'm going to do. I have the vtec solenoids here. No, in the box. So yeah, I will still think about doing the O2 sensors. I'm not sure, because if the studs were that welded, the O2 sensor could be another fight, and I don't think I have time for that fight. So I think I might just drive it like that. It drives fine, so, and then I change them later. I don't have time. So anyhow, I will keep going at it. Well, way worse than I thought. This is the new vtec solenoid gasket I bought from Rock Auto. Is a Becanali, whatever it is brand. And I torqued it to the spec. Look at this. It's completely destroyed. So my theory of that, let me see. Let me put the phone here for a second. So my theory was that this bottom part here, that came off the groove and basically landed on here in the edge, and I pinch it out, and that's not what happened. What happened is that these pieces of rubber, this one's like that, because if this is over tightened, that basically is what I saw. And this is fully destroyed. It's like destroyed. It's like, you know, it's absolutely nuts. So I'm guessing that the torque spec, I mean, look at it. It's coming off. It's all cut off by the Jesus. It's all cut off by the body of the solenoid. Isn't that crazy? Look at this. Well, I guess this tells you not to buy aftermarket parts. I wonder if well, obviously I don't know what happened here. I'm going to remove the other one and see if it's the same problem. The other one is leaking, not as bad as this one, but it's leaking. So, but I'm wondering if this is something similar to this. And imagine all these pieces of rubber going through the engine too. Like, that's cool. Fuck. Sorry for my language, but I'm pissed. And I don't have another part, so I just have the same ones. So I'm going to not torquing that much, because obviously this is over torquing. It got squeezed so much that the rubber expanded, and then basically the edge cut it off. So I'm going to make sure I don't over torque them. And I'm going to put a little bit of RTV in this area here and around the solenoid, just to cover my bases. But yeah, so it's not what I thought it was. I mean, in a way it is the same principle, that it got crushed so much and started leaking, obviously. It's all deformed, you know. So obviously it's part of the problem, but at the same time, I guess, I don't know. I'm just trying to think. So they start leaking after the fact, and how they leak from here. I mean, it's obviously is in bad shape, but it wasn't like completely destroyed. So I guess, well, maybe it was leaking from here. This part is cut off, actually. This area here is cut off, so completely. Look. Anywho, I guess we found the problem. Don't buy aftermarket. Buy in this case, buy original.